Well, hey everybody, welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon, and me, Banshee. And it's me, Banshee, with my Material Matters segment, your weekly tarot keys to success in business, education, and finance. Welcome to the show. All right, well, let's get started on a positive note today. You see, I was torn about wearing this hat or the wonderful lion's hat that Fiber Magic made me because, there's a game today and I want the Lions to get back on track. So I figured what better way than to think about them and have the horseshoe and good luck, fingers crossed, that we're finally back on track. There we go. So that's why the change in the sides of the hat, and also that is why I am using the Auspicious Symbols deck today, the Auspicious Symbols Oracle. I don't know. I just felt like let's look at it, see if any good luck is coming our way this week in either business, finances, or maybe health. So let's take a look. And let's start there before we get into any news going on. All right. So welcome everybody. Let's see if we are going to have a more positive week ahead. So spoiler alert, I'll tell you our cards are a bit of a interesting mix this week. Okay. Okay, let's see what we've got for the collective. Ooh. Hey, did I pick the right deck? It's Lakshmi. And because I know a little bit about Lakshmi, Lakshmi pours abundance, prosperity, and auspiciousness over you. Yes. This is a very fortuitous sign for our business concerns this week, people. Happy to see her here. I'm going to keep it like that. Okay. All right. Okay. She's number 17. And here she is. Anyway, that's funny. So see that glimmer of golden light around Lakshmi? It says here, you've just won the prize. The Divine Mother Lakshmi is the goddess of abundance in all forms. She embodies physical beauty, luxury, overflowing material wealth, and good fortune. Let's hope so, because the stock market's been a little rocky this week, and of course there's all kinds of other problems going on. Let's move on to the message. The message is, open your home, body, mind, and bank account to the message that Lakshmi brings. Abundance is making its way to you now. This golden goddess offers gifts in the perfect currency, so have your eyes open to receiving it. If you have been seeking financial help, new opportunities, or material abundance, help is on the way. Seeking prosperity is not necessarily the only path to realizing it. Through integrity, generous action, and sharing with others, Lakshmi generates abundance. Her appearance through this card offers the energy of expanding what is already flowing, abundant and positive in your life. Allow this prosperous energy to bathe you now. The Divine Mother appreciates cleanliness and order. Uh-oh, that means I've got a clean house. So, honor her energy by taking care of your surroundings and giving thanks through offerings and prayers. It's very important, I know it sounds like, yeah, I got to clean my house, but sympathetic magic means a lot. Doing things to reinforce the idea that you are welcoming Lakshmi's abundance into your life, and you want to honor her for her support and help in bringing it is very helpful in manifesting what you desire. But of course, that does not mean that you abdicate everything into Lakshmi's hands. I'm sure she rewards those who put out the effort towards their goals. So know, though, that luck is on your side this week. Abundance may be coming if you put out the appropriate effort to make it happen. Good luck with that. I like that. All right. Well, let's move on, but let's talk a little bit about economy. Right now we have shortages at airports. A local airport big hub in Metro Detroit Metro Airport, is one of the airports designated for slowdowns in flights, cancellations of flights because of air traffic controllers in the U.S. working without pay, and some of them are calling in sick or have had to take on second jobs. There's just a big mess, and so they want to ensure the skies are safe, and so they're cutting back on transportation. The timing, of course, couldn't be worse with the holidays coming, gifts being shipped, that awful plane crash in Kentucky last week, which disrupted some shipping in the U.S. These are really tough times. And not just for that, for all the people who still aren't getting paychecks in the U.S., those who still aren't guaranteed that even if they're getting SNAP benefits right now through their state, or if the government is following the court order and putting it through for at least the month of November, there's a real uncertain future here, a lot of uncertainty, and so many layoffs going on. It's ridiculous. I'd like to see more of a complete comprehensive employment report, but with the government shutdown, it's kind of hard to come by. And so we can't really prove if the administration's Make America Great plan is working for the economy or not at this point. But a lot of indicators are pointing that it's not. I was going to say something else and I forgot. So if it comes up later, I will get to that. I think that I wanted to talk about the fact that also healthcare benefits right now, according to what I've seen, with the government still in stasis about whether they're going to reapprove the ACA issues that are holding it up, the Affordable Care Act issues, that, people's health care is skyrocketing come January. There's a lot of people facing difficulties. I also heard of somebody being cut off their Medicaid health benefits for, conditions that they rely on. So these are very, very trying and difficult times for a lot of people. Kind of takes the wind and the joy out of the holiday. And it's nice to see people wanting to still celebrate and keep that joy alive in whatever way they can. Okay, let's move on to the astrology for the week ahead. That is more kind of troubling news. So the readings I'm about to do for the astrological signs of the zodiac are good for the week of November 9th through November 15th, Sunday through next Saturday. And during this time, the moon will be in Cancer on Sunday and moving through the signs all the way to Virgo, transiting into Libra next Saturday, the 15th. Well, I got some bad news right off the bat today. Mercury is officially retrograde once more. We've already been experiencing tech issues here, so sigh. Big sigh to that. So that is just happened on November 9th, Sunday. Jupiter is turning retrograde on November 11th, 2 days later. And that is the same day as Veterans Day. Veterans Day is November 11th. It's also Remembrance Day in Canada. So as we remember our veterans, as we remember their sacrifice and their service, let's pause. And if you know any veterans or just, hey, out there on social media, let's thank them for their service, their continued service. That's the day before my father's birthday, anniversary of his birth, World War II veteran. So I think a lot about him right now at this time of year. Okay, let's move on, shall we? And let's start with me. Oh, I mean Aries, which is my sign. Sun, Moon, Rising. This reading's for us for the week ahead. I can't help being a little partial here. One more. Okay, my fellow Aries. We start off with the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is reversed. And I'll do it this way. And the Empress is also reversed. Wow. This isn't so bad. It's the Five of Cups reversed. But the rest isn't looking so great. I feel here some of us Aries have really suffered some financial setbacks. You know, the markets have been kind of all over the place, and I've seen a loss of revenue in some of my minor small investments I have, and also it just seems as though productivity may not be what it is. You know, I wonder here if some companies and corporations are cutting back on output. I saw, for example, one of the car companies, I forget which one, it might have been Ford, who is cutting back on an electronic vehicle that's been popular with them, but sales are down for electronic vehicles across the board, so they're cutting back on production. So it's things like that that could be going on here as well. There could be some people who have lost money in the stock market. There are people who are maybe, you know, experiencing cutbacks on their job. They may have temporary layoffs or maybe being diverted to other assignments. So self-care is really important at this time. Take care of yourself during these difficult times, especially if you're experiencing some crisis due to this. The Five of Cups is your hope here, Aries. There seems to be new opportunities. You can look forward to new opportunities coming if you don't allow yourself to wallow in, you know, the sense of loss and lack right now. Focus on creating something new in your life, because I think the opportunities will present themselves. Well, good luck with that. Hey, Taurians, Sun, Moon, Rising. This reading's for you for the week ahead. Huh. Well, I wonder about seeing this again. It's that Ten of Pentacles again. You have the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is upright. Look who's back again. Sheesh. and it's the Empress reversed. Again, this could be just a theme for this week. I'm sensing, that finally things are really starting to get ugly with the U.S. economy. We're going to be starting to see some of the fallout from the tariffs and the various things that have been going on. Again, the stock market, we've got to watch the market here, Taurians. Pay attention to any investments you have. And, if you're losing too much, you may want to make a shift. You may want to figure out, speak to your advisors and find out what's going on. Things are going to be happening fast this week at breakneck speed. But it's not necessarily a positive thing here. I feel that, things might be moving in a rather negative direction. So be prepared. Be prepared for slowdowns. Be prepared for just this feeling of, and it might be affecting your ability to motivate yourself to do what you need to do this week. Try to keep pace, try to keep up. Don't take your eye off of whether it's job security or financial security in this week ahead, Taurians. Good luck with that. Whoopsie. All right. Well, we're on Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising. This reading's for you for the week ahead. Okay, you have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is reversed. The Queen of Swords is upright. Is reversed as well. What is going on here? Wow. And the Page of Swords, reversed. Well, Mercury is retrograde. Maybe that's playing into some of what we're seeing here. I always feel one of the first weeks of the the first week of the retrograde is rather difficult. And maybe that's what we're seeing here. I feel here, though, you're ready to make a move, a choice, or a decision. But you better be careful about this. If you've been getting advice from others, make sure you can trust that advice, or make sure that this move that you have decided upon is really right for you here. Were you not thinking clearly? Were you, are you panicking over some of the things, the economic indicators and things going on, or worries about job stability, that you're not thinking clearly about the choice you made? Because, this could get off to a really rocky start. And I also feel here that, maybe if other people are involved, for example, if this is something you're trying to convince people in your company that this is the right course of action to take, or, you want, people to start working on a particular product line now, I think getting support for this will be rough for whatever you're trying to accomplish this week. So it might be best to lay low. Focus on this thing that you have decided on, and maybe give yourself a little bit more time to think it through and come up with a good solid plan or proposal to present to others. Good luck with that, Geminis. All right. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising. This reading's for you for the week ahead. Well, that's a breath of fresh air. We have the King of Cups. The King of Cups is upright. Good, Cancers. Your your emotions are in the right place, and apparently you're really doing well. It's the Queen of Wands. Wow. Whichever one of those reflects you, they're both good. And the Ace of Wands is reversed. It's okay. It's okay. You know, I feel here that your heart's in the right place, your head's in the right place, and you're really ready to move on something new. However, there may be some delays, or maybe what this is saying is you should put it off to a more opportune time. Maybe this week is not the time to get something new underway. I feel as though you're emotionally attached to doing something, and you feel like this will really make yourself look great in other people's eyes, whether you're about to do a presentation in front of the public proposal. I mean, some things you're not going to be able to put off. So give it your best shot. But recognize here that, this week may not be optimal for very brand new things you want to institute and get off the ground. If this is something that you've already been working on and its release is this week, you might as well go with it and see what happens. But this is not really a good week to start anything new and growthful. It could be delayed. There could be complications if you do. So just know, though, that you have a lot of moxie, and if you've got a job interview this week, I think you will do really well. And also, your heart is in the right place this week. Be conscientious if you're a boss and supervisor to your employees as the holidays are coming. All right. Good luck with that. Good luck with that, Cancers. I'm Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising. Leos, you have the 6. The 6 of Swords is reversed. It's reverse-a-palooza today. You have Judgment. Judgment is upright. And the Lovers are reversed. Wow. Oh, Leos. Seems like there's no forward movement this week. You are stuck where you are. And it's possibly because of some very poor choices you have made either last week or in, recent weeks. Let's put it that way. And this is calling for a total transformation here. You have to remake this. You have to redesign it. You have to come up with a better product if it's a product line. You have to come up with a better solution, because whatever you were hoping to implement or enact or release to the world is not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere this week, and you have to really reevaluate some of the choices you've made, whether it's in the planning stages or whether it's in the work itself that something is seriously amiss. You have to figure it out and come up with a redesign or reconfiguration. Good luck with that. Good luck with that, Leos. Hey, Virgos, Sun, Moon, Rising. This reading's for you for the week ahead. All right, Virgos. Oopsie. Okay. Well, the Page of Swords is back, and the Page of Swords is reversed again. Is back as it came the first time. The Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is reversed. Wow. And the Magician. Magician is reversed. Ooh. Virgos. You know, what can I say? Mercury is retrograde. And this really is kind of aligned with that. You know, again, I think that you need to stay where you are right now. There's no sense in trying to move things forward if you can't get everybody on the same page. You seem to be not being able to connect with important people or things that you need to, you know, whether it's even a customer base. And so the results are not coming through for you. You're not manifesting what you desire. So this is better this day, this week, this first week of Mercury retrograde is better spent in planning and strategizing and coming up with a good way to move things forward, especially in an economic environment right now that is really kind of hostile. And this could go for you people who are looking for work out there. If you're trying to manifest a job right now, it may be hard for you to connect with employers, or if you do, it may be hard for them to really pay attention because so many applicants are looking for jobs right now. So you might be stuck where you are at the moment. So I thought I'd throw that out there as well. It's not a good time for you. Good luck with that, Virgos. All right. Whew. What about Libras? Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising. This reading's for you for the week ahead. Well, the Knight of Cups is here. He's welcome anytime. The Hermit is here as well. Oh, everything's upright for you Libras. I like this. The Nine of Pentacles is upright. Well, wow. You're one of the few signs so far this week that are sitting pretty, kind of pretty here. I think after a period of contemplation and reflection, it's time to move forward with passion on something that you've been figuring, you know, deciding that you've been wanting to do, something that you've been longing to do. And so this is the time to move on it. You'd be very, you know, your enthusiasm is high, your passion for what you desire is high. And you know what? You're in a pretty good, solid, stable place right now that you can take a chance on exploring something new, exploring something that you always wanted to do. And you've given it a lot of careful thought. I really feel that way. But you know what? I'm not going to rule this out, since it is Mercury retrograde, that if you feel you need to work on it a little more up here, that would be okay this week, to just take a little break back, make sure that, you know, not only your heart is willing to move forward on this, and not only are you materially prepared, but that your head is in the right place for it as well, and your spirit. So good luck with that, Libras. Wow, nice read for you. All right, we're on Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. This reading's for you for the week ahead. Oh yeah, Page of Swords keeps coming up reverse, though. we've been seeing a lot of him. Nope, I want to do that. Getting up the wrong way. Haha! The Page of Pentacles is here and upright. There's that King of Swords, and he's reversed. And along with that comes the Chariot, reversed. Well, Scorpios, a couple ideas for you. You really want to get something started and initiated and off the ground, but it's kind of hard to do that if you don't have support. You know, if somebody is blocking you from doing it, you know, whether this is something you wanted to accomplish and do in the workplace and a manager and supervisor is diverting you to something else. So there's no progress. It's like you have to go full stop on this for now. And also, I would say this too, as another possibility for some of you Virgos. If you've been thinking of starting something new, initiating something and getting it off the ground, maybe you've gotten some good news, a go ahead to do something. Make sure your head is in the right place. Make sure, you are thinking clearly about a way forward. Because if you're not going to make any good progress on this. It's going to kind of get stuck. Pages and aces, they're the beginning of something. And usually the page, I think, is starting to get things underway, getting things together to do it. But the Chariot is like full stop. And so I feel here, this is the stumbling block right here. Whether it's a person trying to block you from doing what you need to do, or whether it's up here, whether you yourself are having a mental block stopping you from implementing what you need to do. So take your time, sort things out, and move when you are in the right headspace to do so. Good luck with that. Good luck with that, Scorpios. Hey, Sagittarians, Sun, Moon, Rising. Things for you for the week ahead. Well, look at here. The Page of Pentacles is back, but this time for you, reversed. Oh, what? It's the King of Swords. The King of Swords is upright this time. Everything is different from the last time because here again is the Chariot. And really, I can see this happening, I think right now too, which is interesting, is that I think Mercury, I'm not sure about this, but it might be going from Sag back to Scorpio, back and forth during this retrograde period. I'm not completely sure about that. But if that's the case, then this really does make sense that some of the same energies might be affecting you differently. Okay, so the two of you signs. So I'm looking here at you wanting to get something off the ground, but getting some disappointing news. Either you didn't get the job you applied for, maybe for you students out there. I'm finally seeing something for the students out there in particular. Your grades may have come back and they are lacking. And wow, this is already getting towards mid-November. So you've got to figure out a way to straighten things out. You got to get your head together. You got to make wise choices and decisions and focus on your studies, focus on your work, focus on, what you need to do, Sagittarians, in order to get this project or goal jump-started in the right direction. And I'm actually happy here to see the Chariot upright because the Chariot upright is saying that you can do this. You can do this. I think you can move things forward so long as you think things through. So something might really rattle your cage. Don't let it through. Don't just think your way through it. That's my advice. Think your way through it. You will come up with the right moves, choices, and decisions to move things forward this week. So where Scorpio kind of had the short end of the stick here, you've got a more positive end of the stick going for you. Good luck with that. Alrighty, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising. This reading's for you for the week ahead. You have the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is reversed. The Ace of Cups is not. It's upright. That's good, because you need that energy to deal maybe with that energy. And this energy. The Star is reversed. Okay. Well, Capricorns, during these hard times, it may be difficult. Let's take a look, for example, at some of the people that are forced to work without pay right now in the government, or to not have a job at this point in time. There's disruptions. There's disruptions between teams that may have to reconfigure. And let's look at all the companies that are laying off right now. It may be hard to, pull everybody together working on the same page as they have to cover for people who have now been laid off and may have more extra things to do. This is making you feel very, very pessimistic right now. But you know what? If you love what you do, you will find a way through. Think about where your passion lies. If you have lost your passion for what you do, well, then maybe it's time to call it quits. But this is showing here, love conquers all. So if you truly love what you do, you're going to try to make it work as best you can. And, you're going to show as much love to others who may be, stretched to the max right now, to be kind to them and, help them through this difficult time. If you are a manager, for example, and your corporate executives have just cut your departments down to bare bones, and you're going to have to be asking people to do 2 or 3 times the work they did before, or maybe even your departments are being dismantled and they're going to have to go somewhere else, be kind. Be kind during this time, because a lot of people are worried and nervous and panicking, and it's going to affect your bottom line in your business. So be careful, and love is the answer, always. Hey, Aquarians. Oh, something tells me I'm going to be a little bit longer today with this show. Aquarians, Sun, Moon, Rising. This reading's for you for the week ahead. And boy, do I wish I had better news for some of these signs. Seems like only 2 signs are having a really pretty good, solid week. Maybe I spoke too soon. Here's the King of Pentacles upright. Woohoo! And the Eight of Wands is back, upright. Nice. But the Knight of Wands is reversed. That's really interesting. All right, Aquarians. Things are moving very, very fast. So there's a tendency when things are moving so fast, whether it's in the stock market, whether it's in business, whether it's in your career, whether it's in your regular work environment. And with the holidays coming, let's think about all the people in retail and how busy and fast-paced everything is. And even in the food, in food and restaurants, everything is going to start moving fast. And so you have to keep up, and you have to be careful not to move so fast that you make reckless moves, choices, or decisions that could cost you. I think, though, luckily for you, the King of Pentacles is here, because either there is a boss or a supervisor who is going to realize that he's got to make sure that his team can work optimally, and to do that, he's got to make sure they have the resources they need, the manpower they need, and that they're not stretched so thin that they will make costly mistakes. It could be that, or it could be just saying that you yourself have this under control. You're not going to allow yourself to get reckless despite how busy it gets. And for some of you who have been around the block many times, many years in, business where at the end of the year it gets really hectic like this, for example, even companies that are switching people over, from usually November's the time that people can renew their benefits and change them. So that leaves a lot of HR staffs very busy as well. And those of you who are dealing with laying off employees at this unhappy time. So, you'll be able to roll with this. You'll be able to command and control this situation because you don't want anything to go wrong here. So just know that expect, Aquarians, a very fast-paced week ahead. All right. And finally, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising. This reading's for you for the week ahead. So I don't think that was too bad a reading for the Aquarians either. So really, just about 3 signs today have a pretty good week ahead. Let's see what you can do, Pisces. Come on now. Let's end on the happiest of notes. You have the 4 of Pentacles reversed. You have the 6 of Swords reversed. And the Queen of Cups is upright. Well, this really does speak to me about a lot of things. Definitely like a slowdown, right? Where things are not moving forward or conditions are not optimal right now for you, Pisces. Some of you may be losing something of value, whether it's in the stocks, in your investments, whether it's in, you losing a job or possibly being put on a temporary layoff kind of situation, which hopefully is the case with a lot of the government employees, that they will come back to jobs eventually. I think this is saying, try to keep your emotions up through all of this. Try to keep your emotions balanced and stable. I think you will, and you will be able to weather the storm, whatever it is. And for you managers and corporate executives out there, and government and politicians, have a heart right now. Have a heart and start realizing that, this is the worst time of year to stick it to people. Why can't we work for everybody's best interests right now? And instead of letting go employees, let go of some other frivolous things that really you don't need. Right? How many more millions do billionaires or billions do billionaires need? How many? Okay? So, think about that and think about breaking the stagnation or the cycle of depression that may be going on, or the losses or the suboptimal conditions that are going on, in the nation's economy and in, your businesses. Well, I guess I go on a soapbox with Pisces here, but on a personal level, Pisces, you may be losing something of value and you may feel stuck. Keep your emotions in check so you can find a way out of this. So now I got to rush through all the announcements this week, and I have an important one, so stay tuned for that. And it's a little out of order, but I'm going to mention it first. So on Thursday, we will have no live show. No live show this Thursday, the 13th, I believe it is, November 13th. So come on down on Sunday this week, today, to get your questions answered from us. And we will resume to our regular Thursday schedule the week following, okay? So let's move on. Today we have a live show from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so come there and get your questions answered. But get there early. There's a Lions game at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, and I'm going to be watching. Mr. O will have to finish up without me if we go into overtime. No, we're not going to go into that much overtime, so please get there early so we can read for you. And then on Wednesday, it's Mr. O's Goth Tarot. Join him for a look at the shadow side of life, where, he will be updating our monthly shadow work we just did week previous, and he will giving you some new shadow work things to explore or think about. And that's at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday. Also on Wednesday, it's fourth quarter moon. During the first week of Mercury retrograde, we're going to have an unhappy hour on Wednesday, and we get to tell you what might be making you upset and getting under your skin right now, and how to turn that frown upside down. It's good, this reading, till the next fourth quarter moon. So join us for the unhappy hour video, which will come out sometime on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, no live show, like I just mentioned. And on Friday, Mr. O's Emotional Exchanges, where you can find out about love, romance, and interpersonal relations of all kinds. So your heart can go pitter-patter. And you will get maybe to find out if you're going to get lucky in love in the week ahead. That video comes out at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then, of course, next Saturday, we'll have another happy hour from 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time live, where you can come and join us for a fun hour where you get a single card positive message for your week ahead. That's at 10 a.m. again, Eastern Standard Time. That's it, everybody. That's all I have. Take care. Try to have a great week ahead. We're not afraid of that Mercury retrograde. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.